We're going to discuss this more now with Islamic Relief Aid worker Salah Aboulgasem. He joins us from Gaziantep. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Salah. I know that you are very busy, so we appreciate you taking the time out. You've worked in this field of humanitarian aid for 16 years. How does this disaster compare to what you've seen before?
Yeah, rightfully, as you said, I've been in the sector for 16 years, and I can categorically tell you I have not ever seen devastation to the level and the extent that we're seeing here in Turkey and, of course, in Syria. Everywhere we look, everywhere we've been, there is devastation. The painful look on people's eyes when you talk to them, people are now emotionally, physically, mentally broken. I've struggled to find somebody who hasn't lost a family member or a close friend or doesn't know anyone who's severely injured or isn't displaced. This catastrophe is one that is really now a humanitarian crisis. And one of the messages that aid agencies like ourselves, Islamic Relief, are giving is, look, many people have died. We're all very aware of this, and it's been very heavily highlighted. Our concern now is that the survivors who've survived the catastrophic earthquake may be dying due to the cold or the lack of food or the lack of clean sanitation or the lack of efficient and sufficient medical assistance. I must also reiterate the importance of the people of Syria. Turkey here, right now we've just been delivering aid and supporting families in some of the rural areas. Of course, we're working with the coordinated authorities, and this key point is there is coordination going on here in Turkey. But my colleagues in Syria are stressing the absence of coordination, the fact that there's been a 12-year-long war going on there, the fact that aid is struggling to reach, we're doing our best, we're working around the clock, the fact that organizations like Islamic Relief are having to work in multiple forms of intervention, where we're having to remove rubble from the roads in order for ambulances to get the bodies that are being recovered, and at times people who mean well are blocking the roads, meaning, and there was a horrific story yesterday that was reported to us from some of our colleagues. They were jubilating and really excited and happy that they'd recovered a girl from one of the buildings. She'd survived, but then she was stuck in an ambulance for more than 3 hours because people with goodwill were trying to clear rubble from the roads. These are the challenges in Syria, and I must also stress specifically with Syria and also here in Turkey, this is going to be a long-term disaster. Yes, we appreciate the attention, the support, the financial assistance that's been given now, but we need to understand this is long drawn. It's already been 12 years in Syria. This area in Turkey and southern Turkey have really been so great in hosting communities from Syria, but the psychological impact of young people, children, there is a generation of Syrian children that were born in war or who've grown up in war or have seen nothing but war and displacement and have now had this earthquake. So one of our programming going to work on now, we've already started to conduct needs assessment for the amount of orphans. We've already started to equip our teams of psychosocial workers to prepare themselves for what's coming. This is a long-term disaster. The needs are huge. The needs are vast. We're doing everything we can. We're working around the clock, and we need the assistance to continue.
And what is the immediate assistance, though, that you need? You speak about the cold. That cold is not going to go away. So even if you have people who've been pulled out alive, we've had reports of people dying of hypothermia. And in Turkey, where we're getting more aid, that is something that can be combated. But in a place like Syria, which is dealing with a crisis within a crisis now, this is likely not going to happen.
Well, when we're talking to our Syrians inside Syria, our staff, and we're talking to people, they're saying, you know what, enough is enough. The world needs to wake up and understand that it's taken for an earthquake for there to be a bit more attention. At the beginning of the war, there was some attention. Time to time, it takes for a catastrophe for people to wake up. And the people are tired of it. The people are broken. Yes, every winter, Islamic Relief has an extensive winterization program. Every winter, we're heartbroken going into camps, going into substandard shelters in northwest Syria and Idlib and Aleppo and finding people dying from cold. You are correct 100%. The cold is killing people. And this is why one of the vital form of essentials right now is, of course, sheltering people, but it's also providing the key items for winterization. We're providing as many blankets as we can. We're starting to now provide gas heaters that can hopefully provide people. But look, this is an effort that requires everyone to do as much as they can. We're doing as much as we can, and the pain that we're suffering is we know we can do more, but in order to do more, we need more support, we need more assistance, we need more coordination. We also are really appealing to the international community to really stand with organizations like ourselves, calling for a clear access, a clear humanitarian access to the most badly affected areas in Syria to ensure that aid can be received, the sanctions that have been placed to be lifted, for people to understand that this humanitarian crisis is a